we all know getting into med school is hard, and stereotypically, it's all the academically really genius people who get into med school. But I'm here to tell you, I got into med school and I wasn't really a straight A student. Maybe a few semesters of my life I was a straight A student, but most of the time I wasn't. And I'm going to take you guys down memory lane of what I did to get into med school, basically my CV. So we're gonna go all the way back in high school. I started high school and I did really bad my first semester. A child of immigrants from India, I did pretty bad. I was like in the 50% of my high school class in my first year of high school. It was not good, but I kept working, and I got into like the top 25% of my high school by the end of graduation. I think I ended with like a 4.2 GPA out of 5.0. Now I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's really high. Yeah, it's high, but like I didn't get perfect A's. If I got perfect A's, I'd be at 5.0 right next to 5.0. I was pretty far off. I just got B's in the classes that were weighted more. So, it helped, but I wasn't the brightest student in my class, I can tell you that. In high school, I pursued extracurriculars. I did many sports. I did soccer, track, cross country, swim. Not all in the same year. I spaced them out, kind of tried new things. And I joined many different clubs in high school. And one of the most notable ones was pre-med club. And this was, all about medicine, all about science stuff, kind of like a STEM stuff, but more medical based. And in my senior year of high school, I was president in my senior year of high school, I was VP of the club. So it showed I had a passion in medicine and I was taking leadership of it as well. And during high school, I pursued research opportunities with a medical student actually. She reached out to local community kids and asked for children who are interested in medicine and who want to pursue research. And I did that with her, and that was actually really fun and really showed my passion for medicine. On top of this, I did shadowing with doctors. Now I know it's pretty hard out there, especially after COVID. It's been hard to find doctors and get an degree to shadowing, but there's virtual shadowing online. You can look that up. But shadowing or doing a program that allows you to shadow, which is what I did, was amazing. It really got me to get in the insights of what doctors actually do, what's actually happening in the healthcare field, what am I gonna do in medicine? And it really gave me a passion for, okay, I actually enjoyed this. And it looks good on your resume. Like, you're actually doing shadowing stuff in high school. It really shows you have a passion for something. And then, I applied everywhere for college. I applied at places that would be good for medicine, even most places that had medical schools, and I applied to fast track BSMDs. And BSMD is just basically where you have a combined college and a combined medical school all in one program. And I got into one. I got into one in Northern California, and that's the school I decided to go to because I was like, this is perfect. It's gonna be a 6-year program, 2 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school. And in that school, it was a really uphill battle. I remember I didn't do the best. I didn't get straight A's at all. I got many B's, and I remember my second year in OChem, I was getting C's in them. And the second semester, I passed by 0.4% or 0.04. It was something crazy like that. I was on thin ice on passing the class, but I made it through, and it wasn't the best GPA, but it was whatever. But on top of that, I had to take the MCAT. So even though I was in a BSMD, I had to take the MCAT and score a 510 in order to go to the medical school. And in my second year, I couldn't get that. I was like 3 points off, and I was like, shoot, I should have studied OChem more, the class I did bad in. And so, I was like, okay, I need to hunker down and study. And that's when COVID hit. COVID hit right when I was about to take my second MCAT, and boom, everything shut down. Couldn't find a testing center, got delayed. And then like 6 months later, after many delays and staying at home, I got a place in Nevada, and I'm from California, so I had to drive like many hours. My dad, we stayed in a hotel, we took the MCAT, and then when I got my score back, it was a point lower than the first one. I was like, great, this is nice. Now I have to stay another year. So my original plan of a 6-year program became into a 7-year program because I still didn't get the score I needed to go to medical school. So that meant that I needed to stay another year, get the score, and then apply to every medical school, not just the one in that program. Because I was like, maybe I won't get that 510. Then a couple months pass, I take the MCAT again, and then this time I score 2 points below the threshold. I'm like, great, I'm just hovering around there. I really need to apply out. and I started applying to a lot of DO schools, and I did apply to some MDs as well that had a lower threshold for MCATs, and I applied to so many different schools. I started hearing back from a lot of DOs. I think in total I got like 12 interviews from DO schools, and I started interviewing, I started prepping, and for the interviews I prepped so much. I started recording myself, I did group sessions, I watched videos, I watched specific videos for that school, I looked up the school details, I wrote notes down, because I was like, I'm not the best academically, but I gotta show them in the interview I am the best candidate for them. And then out of those 12 schools, I think at the end, after all of it, I got into 8 of the 12, so a pretty decent percentage. But on top of this, I wasn't really satisfied. I wanted to go to the MD school that was part of my program, and I really wanted to get that done. So after getting some motivation from my dad, I was like, all right, let me take it a 4th time. And it's not advised to take it a 4th time, but this was only for my school that I wanted to go to, because I had been accepted to DS school, so I had backups ready. But I was like, all right, let me study for 4th time. I studied a 4th time. I gave it like a couple more months. I studied, but took more breaks this time, and boom, I surpassed the threshold. I exceeded by a few points, and I was like, all right, great. This is amazing. And I was like, okay, now I got the score, now I can get in. But little did I knew, I still had to do the interview for that school too. But you know, it wasn't a biggie for me, because I was like, all right, I'm already well versed with interviews. I've done like 12 of them already. Let me do one last one. So I prepared meticulously for this. I did a prep company. I did everything possible. I did all the tricks I learned before, and I paid a prep company for help, and I got the best help I could possibly get for making my interview perfect. And all these interviews were on Zoom, and they still are for you guys too. So I made sure my background was perfect. I looked pretty, I looked good, blah, blah, blah. And you know, I made it perfect. I interviewed, and yes, I got the spot. The school had accepted me like a month and a half after my interview, and they said 2 months. So I got my result back early, and I was so ecstatic. I was like, yes, it finally worked. I spent 2 years on the MCAT, struggling, and it finally worked. I got the score I wanted. I prepped a lot for my interviews, and I made sure I was the best interview I could possibly be, and I wasn't the best academically. As you can tell, 4 MCAT attempts, not really recommended for anyone, but you know, I had to do it, and I did what I had to do. And you know, it all takes hard work and grit, and that's the story of how I got in. Basically, more of the story is don't give up. If you have a passion for a specific place you want to go, a specific thing you want to do, keep going for it till you max out your potential, because there's always more. There's always more than you think you are. So basically, you're never gonna max out. There's always more you can give, and it really helped me. I'm gonna be honest, spending that extra year taking more MCAT attempts really helped me prepare for medical school. And yeah, if you're interested in what medical school looks like every single year, you can check out this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.